If you've ever wondered what the ultra-luxurious superyacht might look like a couple of decades from now, not just bigger, but smarter, cleaner, and still unmistakably luxurious, then you're in the right place. We're stepping aboard Paradise, a 250-meter concept that stretches over 800 feet from bow to stern. That's longer than most city blocks. Yet everything about it is designed to feel balanced and livable, not overwhelming. What sets Paradise apart isn't only its size. It's the fact that this entire vessel is built to run completely sustainably. No compromise on comfort, no constant reliance on fuel, just thoughtful systems that let it glide across the oceans for weeks or months without leaving a trace. I know many of you watching lead lives where details matter deeply. The quality of materials, the flow of space, the quiet confidence of real craftsmanship. Over the next few minutes, we'll walk through every major area. The light-filled atriums, the private owner's deck, the guest suites, the pools, the offices, and gyms. All of it laid out in a clean, minimalist style that puts function and calm first. If you appreciate design that's forward-thinking yet completely practical, stay with me. We're about to explore something truly special. Let's step inside Paradise now and see how all that space actually feels when you're living in it. The first thing you notice as you come aboard is the central atrium. It rises through 3 full decks, giving you this immediate sense of openness without ever feeling cavernous. Natural light pours in from a retractable glass roof overhead, and the materials keep everything understated. Floors in warm bamboo composite, walls finished in soft matte whites and pale woods. There are quiet seating, areas tucked along the edges, low sofas, a couple of armchairs grouped around, small tables. It's the kind of place where you can have a morning coffee alone, or sit with a few guests and talk without raising your voice. The air circulation is completely silent, pulling in fresh ocean air and filtering it gently, so the whole space always feels calm and clean. From the atrium, wide corridors lead off to the guest suites. There are 10 of them, each around 100 square meters, laid out so that no two feel identical. You walk into a sitting area first, with a sofa and a couple of chairs facing large windows. The bedroom is separate, centered around a king bed with built-in storage that disappears behind flush panels. Nothing sticking out, no wasted corners. The bathroom has a deep soaking tub and a rain shower, all fed by a closed-loop water system that recycles almost everything on board. The finishes are simple but considered. Stone tiles on the floor, linen-textured walls, fixtures in brushed nickel. Familiar enough to relax immediately, but with ocean views that remind you exactly where you are. The owner's suite takes up its own dedicated section toward the aft on an upper deck, giving complete separation when you want it. You enter through a private foyer into a large living area that opens directly onto a sheltered terrace. The bedroom sits slightly raised, so when you wake up you're looking straight out over the water through floor-to-ceiling glass. Storage is hidden again, wardrobe space that slides out only when needed. There's a proper work office off to one side, a solid desk in engineered walnut, ergonomic chair, just good light, and a view that keeps you grounded even during long calls. Next to the office is the private gym, compact but complete. Resistance machines, free weights, stretching area with mirrored walls that make the room feel larger. Flooring is cushioned and non-slip, and the ventilation brings in fresh air without chilling the space. It's designed so you can work out first thing in the morning or late at night without disturbing anyone else on board. The dining hall is on the main deck, close to the atrium, but with its own identity. A long table, seats up to 30, made from a single slab of reclaimed teak composite that's been lightly oiled. It has that honest, tactile quality you want to run your hand over. Chairs are comfortable enough for 3-hour dinners. Lighting comes from recessed strips that you can dim or warm depending on the mood. One end of the room opens onto an indoor-outdoor sitting area with deeper sofas and low tables, perfect for moving there after dinner with coffee. Throughout the yacht, the connecting halls are wide and deliberately quiet. Indirect LED lighting is set into the ceiling coves, so there are no harsh shadows. Along some stretches, narrow galleries display rotating digital art, calm ocean abstracts, or black and white photography. Nothing that competes with the view outside. There are 3 pools in total. The main one is mid-deck, half covered and half open, with an infinity edge that makes the water seem to spill into the sea. Two smaller plunge pools serve private areas, one near the owner's terrace, one off a guest lounge. All use saltwater systems and gentle heating from recovered energy, so they're always ready without wasting power. What ties everything together is the flow. You can move from a private suite to the dining hall to an outdoor deck without ever feeling like you're crossing public space. Minimalist palette, woods, stone, soft fabrics, keeps your eye rested. And every material is chosen because it lasts, cleans easily, and comes from renewable sources. It's luxury that doesn't shout. It just works day after day on a very long voyage. That's the interior in essence, thoughtful, livable, and quietly sustainable. Let's take this a step further and look at Paradise deck by deck, because the real magic is in how the interior spaces open up to the outdoors without ever feeling exposed or disjointed. We'll start down on the lower decks, where privacy is the priority. This is home to most of the guest suites and some of the crew areas. Ceilings are a touch lower here, which actually makes the rooms feel more secure and intimate, perfect for long trips. When you want to retreat, large portholes line the hull, bringing in steady light without glare, and several suites have small underwater lounges with thick glass panels looking straight down into the sea. Step outside on this level and you're on narrow side decks, mostly for maintenance, but there are a couple of sheltered alcoves with benches if someone wants a quiet moment close to the waterline. Moving up to the main deck, things open up considerably. This is the social heart of the yacht. The central atrium sits here, and wide sliding glass doors on both sides let the indoor lounges and dining hall flow directly onto broad exterior promenades. The decking is a sustainable teak alternative, warm, grippy even when wet, and it weathers beautifully over time. Shaded overhangs from the deck above keep the worst of the sun off, so you can walk the full length of the ship comfortably. There are clustered seating areas out here, groups of low chairs and small tables arranged, so conversations stay private even though the space is open. It's easy to move from breakfast inside to reading outside without changing rhythm. The upper decks shift the focus to views and relaxation. The owner's suite level has its own expansive private terrace running almost the full beam aft. The railings are transparent composite, so nothing interrupts the horizon. The outdoor flooring matches the interior exactly, creating that seamless feel. You step out from the bedroom or office, and it's like the room simply continues. There's a small dining table under a retractable awning, plus the private plunge pool set flush into the deck. Everything is positioned so wind is minimized, even at cruising speed. Higher still, the top observation deck is deliberately spare. Just open space, a few built-in benches facing forward, and a helipad that doubles as a yoga platform when not in use. From up here, you're above everything, with 360-degree sightlines. Small indoor lounge sits just after the bridge, glass on three sides, quiet seating, perfect for watching a sunset or navigating through an archipelago. What impresses most is how every deck connects vertically and horizontally without wasted steps. Gentle staircases and discrete elevators tie it all together. Natural light travels deep into the ship through strategic cutouts, reflective surfaces. Nothing feels boxed in. The boundaries between inside out stay fluid, but you're always protected. It's efficient without being clinical. Space used wisely, so the yacht lives large, but never empty. Next, let's pull back and look at the exterior as a whole. How the shape, the lines, and the materials all come together to make this work on the water. From a distance, the first thing you notice is the length. 250 meters of clean, uninterrupted line from the sharp bow to the tapered stern. The profile is low and stretched, almost like a perfectly tailored suit. Nothing bulky, nothing added for effect. It gives the yacht a quiet presence, powerful but not aggressive. When she's moving, the hull cuts through the water with very little wake, which tells you a lot about what's going on underneath the surface. The hull itself is built from advanced recycled composites, layers of carbon fiber, and resins that come mostly from reclaimed sources. These materials are lighter than traditional steel, but stronger in the ways that matter at sea, so the ship can carry all its amenities without needing enormous engines. Less weight means less energy to move her, and that's a real, measurable saving on long passages. The surface has a matte finish that doesn't glare in sunlight and shrugs off. Salt far better than paint ever could. Over years, it just weathers gracefully, instead of needing constant touch-ups. Running along the upper edges of the hull and across much of the superstructure, you'll see thin solar panels integrated flush into the design. They're not bolted on as an afterthought. They follow the curves so smoothly that from most angles you barely register them as technology. On a good day in the tropics, they generate enough power to run all the hotel systems, lights, climate, water, treatment, without dipping into stored reserves. It's similar to having a very high-end home where the roof quietly pays part of the utility bill every month. Except here, the roof is moving with you across oceans. The superstructure rises in gentle steps rather than one blocky tower. Each deck overhangs the one below just enough to shade the terraces underneath, keeping outdoor spaces usable even in strong sun. Railings are transparent composite, strong as steel but clear, so views stay open everywhere. The overall color palette is soft whites and pale grays that reflect heat and blend with sky and sea depending on the light. Up close, the quality shows in small details. Seams that line up perfectly, decking that feels solid underfoot, fittings that won't corrode after seasons in salt air. In a way, the exterior reminds me of a classic luxury watch, complicated engineering hidden inside, but outside it's all balance, proportion, and materials that improve. With age, nothing flashy catches the eye. Instead, the more time you spend looking, the more the thought behind every line becomes clear. And that thoughtful approach carries straight into the systems that keep Paradise running cleanly and reliably, which is what we'll turn to next. Technology on Paradise isn't there to impress with gadgets. It's there to make life easier, quieter, and more responsible in ways that are starting to show up in the best real-world projects today. Energy comes primarily from the sun. Those integrated solar panels I mentioned cover enough surface area to supply all daily needs. Lighting, climate control, pumps, kitchens, everything except propulsion on cloudy stretches. Excess power goes into splitting seawater for hydrogen, which is stored and used later to top things up or run the ship silently at night. There's no constant engine hum in the background and no fuel bills piling up on long cruises. Water is handled in a closed loop. Almost everything that goes down a drain, showers, sinks, even the pools, gets cleaned and reused. Advanced filters and UV treatment bring it back to drinking quality. On a voyage of weeks or months, you're essentially carrying your own supply and refreshing as you go. It's the same principle some forward-thinking estates are using now. Reduce dependence on deliveries and cut waste without noticing any difference in quality. Smart systems watch over it all. Sensors track energy use room by room and gently adjust. Dimming lights when no one's there, easing climate control in empty areas. Preheating the gym if your schedule suggests a morning workout. Nothing intrusive. You don't feel monitored, just that the ship is quietly looking after itself and after you. The savings add up and the peace of mind is real. These aren't far-off ideas. They're practical choices available today that let you enjoy absolute luxury while knowing the environmental cost is close to zero. 4. Anyone building or refitting a yacht, or even a primary residence there, worth considering seriously. Smart luxury isn't about more, it's about better. As we come to the end of this tour, I hope Paradise has given you a clear picture of where thoughtful design and real sustainability can meet at the very highest level. A 250-meter yacht that feels intimate and livable, built from materials that last, powered almost entirely by the sun and sea around it, and laid out so every day aboard is calm and effortless. It's proof that true luxury in the future won't mean more. It will mean smarter, cleaner, and more enduring. Thanks for joining me on this one. If you'd like to see more concepts like this, imagine super yachts that push what's possible while staying completely practical, please subscribe to Luminera Rides and turn on notifications. I've got several new designs already in the works, and I'd love to share them with you. Let me know in the comments which feature stood out most or what you'd want on your own ultimate yacht. See you on the next voyage.